In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the Egyptian desert, a chilling mystery has been whispered for over 2.5 millennia. It's the story of an entire army, 50,000 strong, that marched into the sands and simply vanished. What happened to the lost army of Cambyses? Did a colossal sandstorm swallow them whole, or is there another, even stranger explanation? Today, we're venturing back in time, deep into the heart of one of history's greatest unsolved riddles. Our story begins in 525 BC. The mighty Persian Empire, under the rule of King Cambyses II, son of Cyrus the Great, had just conquered Egypt. Cambyses was a man of immense ambition, eager to expand his dominion even further. After securing the Egyptian throne, he set his sights on the powerful kingdom of Kush, in what is now modern-day Sudan, and the remote but strategically important Siwa Oasis. The Siwa Oasis was famous for its Oracle of Ammon, a revered source of prophecy that even Alexander the Great would later consult. Cambyses, however, had no intention of seeking its wisdom. He wanted to destroy it. Why such hostility? According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, our primary source for this tale, the priests of the oracle had defied Cambyses' authority, likely predicting his downfall. For a king who believed himself a living god, this was an unforgivable insult. So, he devised a two-pronged attack. He would lead his main force south along the Nile towards Kush, while dispatching a separate detachment of 50,000 soldiers westward from Thebes to obliterate the Siwa Oasis and silence the oracle forever. Imagine the scene: 50,000 elite Persian warriors, a formidable force setting out from the bustling city of Thebes. They were well supplied, confident, and marching under the banner of the most powerful empire on earth. Herodotus tells us they traveled for 7 days across the desert, reaching an oasis known as Karga. This was the last time they were ever seen by the outside world. According to the account Herodotus gathered from the people of Siwa, after the army left Karga Oasis, they were caught in a catastrophic event. A sudden violent wind rose from the south, a massive sandstorm of biblical proportions. The simium, a hot, dry, dust-laden desert wind, descended upon them. It would have been terrifying. The sky would have turned a blood red, then dark as night. A roaring wall of sand, thousands of feet high, would have surged towards them, blinding them, choking them, and ultimately burying them. 50,000 men, their weapons, and their supplies were entombed beneath the dunes, lost to time and memory. For centuries, this was the accepted story. A powerful army, humbled by the raw, untamable power of nature. It's a dramatic, almost cinematic tale, and it's easy to see why it has captured imaginations for so long. But is it the whole truth? In the modern era, historians, archaeologists, and scientists have started to question Herodotus' account. Let's start with the sandstorm itself. While desert sandstorms are very real and incredibly dangerous, could one really bury an entire army of 50,000 men without a trace? Modern Egyptologists and geologists are skeptical. An army of that size would have stretched for miles. It would have had supply wagons, animals, and equipment. For a single storm to completely cover every last shield, every helmet, every bone seems improbable. Surely, over the last 2,500 years, something would have surfaced. Shifting sands reveal ancient secrets all the time, yet not a single piece of definitive evidence from this massive lost army has ever been found. No mass graves, no rusted Persian armor, no skeletons, nothing. This lack of physical evidence has led to a fascinating range of alternative theories. One of the most compelling suggests the army was never lost to a sandstorm at all, but was instead ambushed and destroyed by human forces. Who would dare to challenge the might of Persia? The answer might lie with an Egyptian pharaoh in exile named Petabastus. The third, while Cambyses was busy campaigning in the south, Petabastus led a rebellion against Persian rule. It's possible that the so-called Lost Army wasn't marching to Siwa Oasis at all. but was diverted to quell this uprising. According to this theory, the 50,000 soldiers were engaged in a fierce battle against the Egyptian rebels somewhere in the western desert. Outmaneuvered, perhaps suffering from dehydration and exhaustion, the Persian force was systematically wiped out. A crushing defeat like this would have been a massive humiliation for Cambyses. It would have shattered the myth of Persian invincibility. So, what's a powerful, image-conscious king to do? You create a cover story. Blaming the disaster on an act of God, an unpreventable, cataclysmic sandstorm, was a brilliant piece of political spin. It preserved the reputation of the Persian military and turned a humiliating defeat into a tragic tale of misfortune. Another theory points the finger not at rebels, but at the very priests Cambyses sought to destroy. The priests of the Oracle of Ammon at Siwa were politically powerful and had deep connections throughout the desert tribes. They would have known the army was coming. They could have used their knowledge of the treacherous desert terrain to their advantage, perhaps leading the Persians into a trap, poisoning their water sources at crucial oases or coordinating guerrilla-style attacks that slowly whittled down the force until it collapsed. In this scenario, the army wasn't buried by sand, but rather defeated by a clever and determined enemy who knew the desert like the back of their hand. Of course, the search for physical proof continues to this day. Over the years, there have been numerous expeditions and tantalizing claims of discovery. In 2009, 2 Italian archaeologists announced they had found evidence near Siwa Oasis human remains, bronze weapons, and silver bracelets that seemed consistent with the Persian army. The news made headlines around the world. Was the mystery finally solved? Unfortunately, the scientific community largely disputed the findings, and the evidence was deemed inconclusive. Other researchers have used satellite imagery to look for anomalies beneath the sand, hoping to spot the faint outline of a buried military camp or a mass grave. But so far, the desert has kept its secrets locked away. So, what do we believe? Was it a freak act of nature, a political cover-up for a military disaster, or a clever ambush orchestrated by desert priests? The truth is, we may never know for sure. Each theory has its merits and its flaws. Herodotus himself was writing decades after the event and was known to sometimes favor a dramatic story over historical accuracy. He was a storyteller as much as a historian. The story of Cambyses' lost army is more than just an ancient cold case. It's a powerful reminder of the limits of human ambition in the face of nature's power and the shifting, often unreliable, sands of history itself. The fact that a force of 50,000 men could be so completely erased from the physical record is a humbling thought. They marched into the desert full of purpose, only to become a ghost story, a legend whispered on the desert wind. Their fate remains one of the most compelling and enduring enigmas of the ancient world. What do you think happened to them? Was it the storm, a battle, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. The desert is a vast place, and who knows what secrets it might one day decide to reveal. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next historical mystery. See you next time.